Hello, everybody, and welcome to our third episode of our Spoilercast for Life is Strange Double Exposure. I sound, pretty down. That's because the first two episodes were a struggle. But hopefully this one has swayed us and charmed us into fans again of the series. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Hello.
Sean Bell.
What up?
And James Farley.
Hello.
Hello. How are we all doing? We good? Are we ready to discuss episode 3, Spin? Good.
Why is it
All
called
right.
that?
I don't know, but also, why do you guys all sound like you don't want to be?
No,
No.
I think I said this last time. My excuse is I've had to take a migraine tablet. So I'm a bit...
Again?
I'm all right. I feel good.
I've
Well,
got
no,
cold from those things. You're like Pac-Man with migraine tablets, aren't you, boy?
Wacka wacka wacka. I am excited to talk about the
Cooler
episode.
than
Is that not like wacka wacka wacka?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this episode, but I think
Yeah,
there might be
same.
some
No,
differing
I'm
opinions.
looking forward to
That's the thing. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, I've also got some opinions about this as
Okay.
well.
Well,
in places.
for those of you that don't listen to our regular gaming podcast, the Computer Game Show by TCGS, I don't know. I still don't understand the branding.
Mark Jacobs by Mark Jacobs.
Yeah, exactly. Presented by.
I'm going to sing Cheryl Lloyd by Cheryl Lloyd. Then you will not have known that myself and Sean have already said that after this episode we were both back in. I thought this was the best episode of the series so far. Sean agreed, and we are both fully back into that Life is Strange space. James and Matt have not revealed what they think of this episode yet, so I'm expecting comments throughout. So let's get started. As usual, I'll be going through my notes because I am the main one, and everyone else will be chipping in to go, yeah, you were right, Dave, after all. So we look forward to those moments. For those of you, again, that are not familiar with these shows, I do forget what I wrote down. I fill it with typos. And it's been about a week since I played the episode. So I'm sure there's lots of this episode that I've forgotten. Are we ready? Good.
Yeah.
It starts in Max's home again. This is after the big reveal of finding that subtle clue to her killer. Matt, you were a big fan of the subtle clue. Max holding a gun directly at the camera and crying.
Yeah. Bit of a giveaway for me.
It was a little bit of a giveaway. So we're back in there. So it picks up where we left off. Although I think some time has passed because now Moses isn't about and she's on her own. And
I think this is just the following morning.
Oh, really? Was it
That's,
in the morning?
that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
it
because
was-
the fact she woke up at her desk, like clearly, just a
Oh,
bit
that's
frazzled.
right. That's right. She was asleep at her desk, wasn't she? She wakes up. She gets all her evidence out. Now, I can't remember who didn't save Gwen's flash drive.
Me.
I didn't know. I let it.
Oh, that's
burn.
interesting.
Right, you two let it burn.
So we did.
So
You didn't. Okay.
here you get to look at Gwen's flash drive.
Okay.
Although, were you completely baffled by this as I was, Matt?
Well, I don't know what you're gonna say.
Well, what I'm going to say is she puts it in and she goes, oh, look, it is Gwen. And it's like Gwen, like it's not subtle. The CCTV camera footage is almost directly in her face.
Yeah.
And she's looking straight at the camera, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, it was Gwen, dealing drugs or whatever. It's got a play button in the middle and Max doesn't press play.
Yeah, she just sees it and moves on.
Still,
Sees
and
the
that's
thumbnail
enough.
and goes,
Okay.
yep, that sums
Yeah,
that up.
that's
Yeah,
um,
she's probably more bothered about the whole, gun thing from earlier.
Sure.
Lion
Don't
sinker.
don't put the flash drive in the first place then. Don't go through the effort of putting the flash drive
she
in.
got mixed up.
Seeing the video and going, I've played that
Do
later.
you think she's just relieved? She's like, oh, good, someone else is bad too. So it's
yeah.
The thing I
Max,
one
there's
of my
probably an excuse why that's happening. Press play. Nope. Don't
Yeah,
need
no,
to.
no.
Do not need to.
One of my first notes is about this. Like, you can tell how unrealistic this game is because you put the USB drive into the PC right way up first time. So that would never have happened.
very, very,
Should've been, okay,
it-
free.
Could
What's
have
a
been.
classic nerd joke? Matthew?
No.
That is,
True though. Fuck
Could
it, yeah.
could have been a USB-C drive.
It wasn't
Yeah.
USB. It's USB. It's USB-A.
It was definitely USB-A. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
He got his tape measure.
Unrealistic.
I can only assume that that's going to come up later, and she'll hit play at some point, and it's not what we expected.
Yeah. No. She go press play and it'll like, oh, okay, what's happening? And then suddenly it will cut to that spinning woman on the airplane.
That was
That's why it's
from
called
the air,
Spin.
but you're right.
Oh my god,
Not
that's
a lot of
why.
people do.
Well, because the thing is, right, because I don't want to jump ahead,
And yet,
and yet, so I figured this out. Have you?
No, shush. Don't,
All right.
let's speak. The end bit I really want.
Figured what out?
So something happens really, but something really important happens at the end, right? We
Yeah.
know that, and Sean's got a theory, or
It's not
right.
a theory.
Okay,
It's correct. It's
yeah,
obvious.
okay.
Now I know.
Right.
I know where you're going with this. You're definitely
Okay.
right. It's-
See, I haven't picked up on it. So
oh,
don't
that
say
all
it's
that all
obvious.
makes sense. That all
Yep.
makes complete sense now.
Yep.
Everything makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh, I think it's just hit. I think I just. Okay, I think I'm with you. We'll get to it. I think I'm with you.
oh yeah, me too. I also understand.
I've just worked
What
out
happened?
because basically that theory that you were referring to with what happens right at the end,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, that might be what's happening, but amongst the other couple of theories that I had,
Yeah,
but
everything
you're
adds up
absolutely right.
with-
This
yeah,
all
yeah.
makes sense now.
Well, let's wait because I don't even
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what we're talking
let's-
about,
yeah, yeah.
nor I don't even know what theory this is.
I mean, we could just stop now
Yeah.
and just don't bother. You know?
Stop now, can't we?
Solved
We've
it. We don't
worked
even need to play the rest, really.
Yeah. Okay, right, okay. Max likes Lucas's book. She said, "Oh, I hate the fact that I like this book." Well,
I mean,
Max,
that's foreshadowing as well, isn't it?
yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, foreshadowing. Yeah, okay, yes, it is foreshadowing.
There's a reason it's
We'll get
okay
to
to
that.
like the book.
Well, I've put Lucas is a hero of this game, and yeah, I kind of regret putting that at this point in because it turns out he's not so much of a hero. Reading the emails about Gwen cancelling Safi's book, I'm starting to think that maybe Safi has been stealing Gwen's poems or something. No, but a theme that comes up later.
Close.
Right.
Yeah.
I've written down a line in quotes here that Max says. You ready?
I wonder if I wrote the
Coffee,
same.
coffee, good. Get coffee now.
I
And
wrote
next
this.
to it, I've put "Shut up, Max."
No. So I wrote down she said coffee. Coffee is friend. Shut the fuck up.
No coffee, no worky, Matt.
Yeah. Oh god.
Do you
cof-
think they're like? Do you think they're taking the piss with this writing at this point? Do you think they're playing into it?
That's just Max,
Because-
isn't it? I mean, it has always been like this.
Nah, I think they genuinely think this is cool. Like I really do. I think
Well,
that's-
No,
do
that-
they think it's
nah,
cool,
well,
or are they knowingly including like millennial cringe now? Is that?
I don't.
I'm
know.
nearly 40, by the way. But
Yeah, they've written a character in a certain way. I don't think they're like, oh yeah, this is how cool kids talk. I think that's just
Yeah.
their character. Whether the character's cringe or whatever, that is Max.
No, that's the thing. I don't think they're trying to be like young or anything. I think they just think it's cool. Like I genuinely think that's what that's about.
Okay, I don't agree. But okay.
No, that's just who the character is. I think. I know it's annoying.
I don't agree with that. I think there's no way they sit there thinking this is cool chat. I think either it's a character and they're playing into it, or they're taking the piss at this point. I
Yeah,
think
like,
it's more
what would
likely
this
that they're
character
playing into
say?
the character.
See,
Yeah.
I don't
But
think that's the
this
case.
is the difference,
No.
right? Because she's older now, so she would the way she speaks would change.
Well, yeah, that is. True.
I see. I don't agree, and the reason I don't agree is because these games they're pretty earnest. I would say about things. You know, they don't seem particularly self-aware at all, and that's why I think they just think it's cool. I think that's
yeah, I
what this
don't
is
know if I
about.
agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. But okay, right. The next next line I've got is Alderman turns up at Max's house. I
Yeah.
told him to get out, right? Because this was just completely out of the. This was
Yeah,
yeah,
complete-
this was quite.
I wanted
fucked
to
up.
talk about this bit because this whole bit, by the end of it, I just thought this has got to be a dream sequence. Like what's going on here?
Yep.
It's very
Because-
odd,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
very strange, and like the whole
Yep.
thing where he's like he starts talking about like the Arcadia Bay disaster,
Yeah.
and then linking it to Max.
Yeah.
Why? Like,
Yeah.
what's the connection there at all? It doesn't make
well,
any
it's
sense.
very easy
Well, no,
if it's
because-
in your game, James.
Well, yeah,
because
but-
she was one of the only survivors.
Yeah. So it's very easy to tie it to
you can't
James's
link
game.
it to anyone else, mate.
Yeah.
No, but then he's like, somehow all this death leads to you, and it's like, what? I don't get that. Like, what the
Yeah,
connection is?
Yeah,
there.
there's
I
clearly a
don't
very
get
clear
that.
difference between there being like a natural disaster survivor and then your best friend being shot later.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it doesn't really make any sense for him to try and draw a line between those two things.
I mean,
And he's
I like-
also he's like shouting all about the place as well. I mean,
he's losing his mind, isn't he?
I-
Like, he's
yeah.
really lost the plot.
by that
was-
point.
that made me laugh. That bit.
I'd have asked him to get out by that point. Conversation over.
If we were doing episode titles, it would be called "Shouting All About the Place." Is definitely the title. I would
Yeah, because he was
suggest.
like talking, and then suddenly he said, "What the fuck happened to the telescope, Maxine?"
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
awake.
This whole
Sit
bit was
down.
terrible in my opinion. Also, the I don't think it was very well shot in terms of or directed in terms of how close he was to seeing the photo on the desk.
Oh yeah, that was
How
great.
it kept,
Yeah,
like, it was kind of like, well, where is the photo in relation to this conversation?
Yeah.
Is he looking at it right now or is he not?
But then
so
that's
I put,
supposed to be ambiguous, right?
well, no, because that didn't make sense. Because she said basically, like, "Oh my god, what if he seen it? If he saw it, he would have said, what the fuck's that?' He would have done something about it. He wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah,
and said,
'cause he
I
sort of
guess I'll
looked at it
leave that and come back
smiled,
later.
And yeah,
No, it's not
Yeah.
really ambiguous. If he saw it, he'd be like, okay, what the hell's that? Or they would have done something about it, not just left knowing.
I think what Sean's asking is it ambiguous as to whether he saw it or not? And I thought, did he see it or not? Are they going to build this up? And then Max goes, he definitely saw it. He definitely saw it. As if to say, listen, guys, I know that whole bit was a bit of a mess, but just to let you know who's playing now, he saw it, okay?
Yeah.
But I don't believe he did see it. Like, it wasn't that her
No.
panicking saying, "Oh god, he saw it. He must have seen it. He saw it. Saw it."
Maybe.
Like,
but then
if,
it doesn't.
if
Like
you're
I say,
a
it doesn't.
policeman,
Go on.
sorry, if you're a policeman and you have a suspect and you go, wow, that is a damning piece of evidence there.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk off now and leave.
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
with
You don't just leave and be like, "Oh, I've got you now. Bye."
well, yeah, but there would probably be some more investigating. I don't know. I just think.
Yeah,
That's-
by
What?
walking over, taking the picture, and then arresting her. Like, that's
Sorry, Matt, what?
That's
There will
the next
probably
bit of
be
the
some more
investigation.
investigating.
Yeah. So if he saw it, he would have done something about it. The fact he didn't do anything means.
Yes,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
think...
saying. No, we're kind of in agreement. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And like,
so-
you know, this isn't like he's trying to do her for shoplifting. He's seen a picture where she's pointing a
Yeah,
gun,
God.
so he's assuming she's got a gun, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And that she was very tearful about the whole situation.
yeah, she did look a bit sad. Maybe that's why he that gave him some pause where he was like,
Yeah, because a murder
just-
wouldn't be sad. So.
yeah.
I'm just going to stop shouting about the place.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just let her be.
So I've put, oh no, he's talking about Arcadia Bay. Alderman seems to be blaming Max for all the murders in Arcadia Bay. Alderman leaves. We're not sure if he saw the photo. Oh wait, Max seems to think that he absolutely did see the photo. Why would he just walk out if he did? Right. So I think that sums up our little discussion there. I think we're all on the same page there.
Also, is it just me, or did she have plenty of opportunity to move the picture without him seeing and just didn't bother?
I mean, that would have been sus as hell.
I suppose.
Oh, what's over there? I don't know. But yeah, possibly. But...
He shouldn't be in there anyway. Didn't have a warrant.
No.
Yeah.
I've seen too many videos taken from mobile phones where they're at the door, knocking on the door. You've got to have it's got to be signed by a judge in wet ink. We've all heard
So
that before.
in this, it wasn't a choice, but it was like you could decide between two like of the dialogue options, and I just said at that point, I think said come in. Like one of them was like fuck off, but I was like, I wasn't gonna tell him to say, wasn't gonna tell her to tell him to say fuck off again because she did that last time.
I did it twice.
Oh, okay.
I did it twice. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
When Max rejected the card, I was like, I'm not gonna do it again.
Well, because that was the thing that annoyed me. Because obviously, the discussion we had about the last episode. So in this one, I can't remember if it's in a diary or somewhere, but basically says like, "Oh, I wish I'd just told him I would play along and then threw the card away." And it's like, yes, that's what I wanted.
That's
to do,
what we
Max.
wanted to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. But the thing is, Matt, though, is that when you're saying fuck off, you ain't coming in here, it had nothing to do with anything that I was hiding in there. It was, no, you're a law enforcement and you've got no legal right to just walk into
and
my
so
house
knows
like this.
So does he just barge his way in anyway?
Yeah,
Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he just walks in, yeah.
okay.
Okay.
We report him.
Right, okay. Max now trying to use her old powers. I've not pressed this wrong button this many times for it just to work now, Max. Like the amount of times I hit the button, it's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I might be able to do that. Well, you know, come on.
Plot reasons, it now might be possible.
I was a bit disappointed with this actually. That whole like going back into pictures thing again because
I did, it's fine.
they'd so strongly established that she couldn't do that anymore, and it's like, oh no, but no, they can now because they need to move the plot along. It
Yeah,
was
I suppose
like,
you can argue that she's doing it out of desperation. B, it really fucks her up, right?
Yeah.
So the point is,
yeah.
look, she got away with this one instance of it, but that is it now. We promise.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see how that pans out. But
Well, this
Yeah.
is it, isn't it? Right. So I put, oh yeah, she is doing her role powers, and there's a focus mini game, and the focus mini game, I don't know if anyone else thought the same, sucked.
Yes.
It was really frustrating and didn't work the way I thought it was going to work, and it spent not long. It probably took me 15 seconds, but it should have taken me 5. And because of that, I was angry.
It was one of those sort of like, oh, I thought we were done with this. Like this.
It
this
just
was-
felt unnecessary, I thought.
Yeah, it did. So you jump into the photo. This is the photo of Max holding the gun. You go to that timeline and you find out that Max didn't actually pull the trigger. She just pointed the gun. And then, again, this all makes sense now that we've worked out what happened at the end of the game. It makes absolute sense.
No.
No?
No,
Oh,
I don't
maybe
think
we're
this is
thinking
related.
different
I
things
think.
It has to be related.
I mean,
I don't think so.
I've got written down here like just in block capitals, puts the gun down. Like through the whole of this, it's just like just
Throw
put
it off the
down.
cliff and
Yeah,
then-
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
let me make that text red so that we can come back to that at the end of the thing to discuss it, because
Okay.
I like in my head the theory that I'm thinking is that, okay, right, I assume that was a brief glimpse into some weird universe. Max decides to tell Moses everything. Max decides it's best to have this conversation at the murder scene.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Like she keeps suggesting, let's go
Can
to
we-
the lookout.
Even he was like, really?
But hang on, prior to this, because I thought they were like trying to clearly indicate that Safi has to die to avoid disaster because there was
Yeah.
another typhoon going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's another
same
storm,
as-
yeah.
The same as from the
Yeah,
first game, and that's why I thought, oh, are they setting up the same conundrum as the first game again? Of like you're having to make this choice, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. But that would be really disappointing.
let's
if that's the
get
case.
to the end, and then maybe we can go back to this stuff because I think it is important. Max has some weird obsession. I said she does seem to love it up there. It's like, oh, do you want to go for a coffee, Max? Yes, let's go to the lookout. No. The last time
it's-
you were there, someone was murdered, Max. Like you, if anything else,
No,
you're
no, I've been
looking
there
really
loads since. It's fine.
suspicious.
Yeah, but Starbucks is
Maybe she's
closed. Like,
reclaiming it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
It's
owning
not,
it.
It's
yeah.
not always fine. Sometimes there's like big obstacles in the way, but all you got to do is just go to another timeline and you just get past them.
Yeah.
It's fine. Right, waiting for Moses on the bench. Max says he's probably not coming, but I think I'm going to bloody wait. So I thought, and I'm an idiot because Life is Strange games don't do this, right? They don't do clever alternatives. Oh, you thought outside the box here, and we're going to reward that. So
I knew what was going to
thought
happen straight away.
there was going to be a bit where you sit on the bench, and there's different shots like of Max sitting on the bench, and she goes, I guess Moses isn't coming. I should go. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait. I bet if you go here, you walk off and you do something else. But if you wait long enough, Moses comes. And I'm like, right, so I'm going to wait. And I waited and waited. And I went, oh, fuck this. Got up and the cutscene was
Yeah,
Moses turning up. And
I
was
knew,
so
I
angry.
knew the second I said, I said, okay, quit. He would have turned up. How long did you wait, David? 45
Too
minutes.
long.
So that's the
I
thing.
think-
I
think
wonder
that-
why you said this is the longest episode ever.
Yeah, it was 17 hours long.
No, I guess he's not. Right, this is my next note. Nope, I guess he's not coming. Oh, for fuck's sake, the moment you stop, he shows up. Actually, why has he shown up? He's found out his friend murdered Safi and he's meeting her in a remote location where she's already killed. I wouldn't go.
No,
Would you
Yeah.
go? Would you go?
I'd do a Zoom call.
Yeah, well,
I ain't talking to you in real life.
let's have a Teams meeting.
Yeah.
Max trying to convince Moses that there are different timelines. Okay, so I
See-
know what he. Go on.
I wrote down here, if I was Moses, I wouldn't believe a word of this, like what she was saying. It was insane. Like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but he didn't. He didn't until
didn't
she
believe it
did.
until
the
he
Yeah,
saw
trick.
until it was a great way
Yeah,
to
yeah.
prove it. Yeah.
But then, even after he does, none of this negates the shooting. Yeah, the fact that that's gone on, it doesn't.
No,
really
but
impact that.
you're more likely to go. Remember, they've had a relationship for a long time before this.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to go, okay, things aren't what they seem because you have disappeared into thin air and you've been able to say. Anyway,
Yeah.
this bit really pissed me off. Because so to prove that you can do what you can do, you disappear in front of him into the other timeline. he does this stance, and he says something. I went back into the other. I'm assuming this is a known phrase that manga or anime people know, right?
No, I think this is specific to him.
So
to this
why
game.
did I
don't
think
it's a
it
real
was
thing.
an anime thing? Doesn't it say something like
It's a thing. So yeah, it's like a made-up show that he watches. I think.
right?
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
thing,
'cause all I
it's
heard
definitely
was
an
him
anime
say
thing,
something
but-
like, "I am a soldier." That's what I thought he said.
Well,
Oh, did you get us wrong then?
Yes.
So I got it
I know.
right, but only by guessing because he
Right.
didn't say shit in mine. He just stood there doing the
Oh,
pose,
really?
and yeah, I didn't hear him say anything.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe
God,
he
that
didn't
was
last. Did you go up to him?
I thought I did, maybe not close
Okay.
enough. I don't know.
Yeah, all I thought you said. I went right. Okay, I think I remember what he said. I clicked up. It's like something like "I am a soldier," and then it come up and it was like 3 random words, and I was like, I don't know any of these. No, so I took
Yeah.
a guess. And
I didn't in the
was
first
wrong.
bit, but I heard him saying psychic angel, at least in mine. Not sure that's different.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Okay. Well, I got it wrong, and to be fair, he just goes, "Yeah, I didn't say that phrase, but you got everything else right, so it's fine."
Yeah, 'cause I mean, I was more annoyed that the first time I went through, it wasn't doing anything. I was like, for fuck's sake. And obviously, he's like, oh, I didn't know what to say or do. But,
Oh, that's
okay,
right.
I'll do it again, shall I, Moses? For fuck's sake, like, time is money. I just,
I panicked.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I went to other timelines to tell you that basically you just sit around doing nothing. Okay, I'll believe you, fine.
Also, he panics in a very different way. If my friend walked off and then vanished into thin air, I wouldn't bend my knees, put my arms out slightly, and sort of shuffle left and right. I would go, "Fuck this, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
out of
fuck
here."
this.
Sick
This is
and just-
this is mental."
You'd be thinking,
right.
why didn't we do this over Zoom? It would have been
Yeah,
much
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, moreover, yeah. So we established that he sees you vanish into thin air and then
Mm-hmm.
reappear.
Yeah.
Is that not enough, Moses? Is that not?
No, 'cause, no.
No, it's not. Okay, so this bit I think is a detail that maybe I don't know if any of you picked up on it. Moses has the bottle cap. Safi
Yes.
slipped it back to me that night, which would imply that he had revealed something secret to her, right?
I didn't notice this.
You can use the bottle cap
Yeah,
for
because
anything,
he
right?
asked,
You can ask them anything.
ask
You
them
put-
anything, yeah.
You and they've got to tell the truth.
Well, no, isn't
And
it? You can get them to do anything. I thought that was the thing. It wasn't necessarily about revealing secrets. It was
No, I
just-
think it was specifically about because it was about
Okay.
penny. It's like penny for your faults, you know. Like
right.
tell me what you're thinking about, or
Okay.
that's what you use it for, isn't it? You ask Safi a question that you want to know the answer to, and that's where you find out about the book.
Even
But
though she has said, don't ask me about that. It's like, well, actually, I'm going to manipulate you, and I will.
I genuinely think that something happened between Moses and Safi that night because. He just went, "Oh, Safi slipped this back to me," and I was like, "Now she wouldn't have just given it back to you for no reason. She
Yeah.
would have wanted to know something." Or so I said, "I don't think Moses is in the clear here."
No.
Right. Alderman shows up. He's talking about a couple of kids getting under his skin, even though he's only been been on this case for about a day.
Yeah.
What a shit detective!
So
What a
this is
shit-
like
Yeah, like a
Ghost
rookie
Alderman,
cop.
right? This isn't the real Alderman. This is the
Yes.
sort of vision of Alderman.
This is the vision of Alderman.
Yeah.
Alderman then freaks out as he can see himself in the other timeline. The whole goddamn place has powers now, is what I put. This has started significantly better than the other episode. So
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point, I was thinking, actually, you know, bar the bit at the beginning with Alderman, which I thought was a bit clumsy. I think this whole segment was really good and felt like Life is
Yeah.
Strange.
It was
And-
also a lot
yeah.
snappier as well. Like
yes,
the way
it was. Yeah.
it got to the main points very quickly.
Right. So, and just as I wrote that, you get to your first big decision. Alderman is getting pulled into the other timeline. You get the choice to save yourself or help Alderman. The choice doesn't really work, in my opinion. Max won't die here. So, what's the use in not saving Alderman at this point? You could use him being on your side. What did you all choose?
I
saved him.
I chose to save him, yeah, or tried to save him.
James?
I also tried to save him as well. I mean,
Well, I think
why
it's
wouldn't
a really
you?
easy choice.
what I'm
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Mos-
okay, he's been a bit of a prick.
But she's not a cop killer.
Yeah, like,
Although I have got written after this, well, that's the cop problem solved. It's-
well, in general, not just him.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Moses steps in and fucks up your choice anyway. That's a bit shit, is what I've put.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a change of timeline in this reaction, in this choice.
Because
We
obviously
don't get one.
it's suggested that this will matter. So
Yes,
it will be interesting to see if Alderman comes back somehow.
Oh,
However,
absolutely, Alderman's coming back.
but then do you see the follow up from Moses about this?
Yeah, but I don't trust Moses.
Hell of
I
a thing
think
to make
Moses
up,
is in
though.
on it.
So, to be clear for everyone listening, so you get this string of messages from Moses basically showing that, like, Alderman didn't disappear at that point. He's been erased from time.
Yeah, because he was like he couldn't find another alderman. Like,
so there was a
another
story
cop.
about
I didn't see
potentially
this,
about
no.
his
I didn't
mom,
see
right?
this.
So basically he's like, look, I found this report about his mum. I think she goes to hospital worrying that she's had a miscarriage, and the hospital's like, no, you were never pregnant.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, which is a bit weird.
which is like quite disturbing, obviously.
Yeah.
So I thought that's sort of really implying he's definitely not coming back. But then who knows? Time
Yeah,
is
but
timey-wimey.
yeah, people are dropping in and out of timelines all the time. I think
Yeah.
we're all right. Otherwise, this whole point is completely pointless, isn't it? This whole decision bit would be completely. If he doesn't come back, this whole decision's useless. Like, it means nothing to anyone. So, I think he's
pretty
got to
much.
come back at some point. So then Moses started to get grey hair, and this was seen as some sort of tragedy. It's not, Moses. It's fine. Grey hair. Some people say it's sexier. Actually, Moses.
I love grey hair.
I mean, I totally agree.
I would just love to
Totally
have
agree.
hair, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
So-
Max was going, oh my God, your hair is grey. Oh no! And presumably this is because Moses came between you and Alderman when he was getting sucked off into,
'Cause you only-
into a different dimension.
So what?
You heard? Sorry,
Because you only
Sean,
go
yeah.
grey when there's like been a really traumatic event. It's
Yeah.
not just a natural thing. Because what is he? Is he? I assume he's the same age as Max, right? So he's like what, 29?
It's
You
so
go
hard
grey
to
at
tell,
29.
Sean. It's so hard to tell ages in this thing. It's mental. Lucas seems to be 40 years older than everyone else, but looks about 3 years older than everyone else. I'm finding it hard. I'm struggling. Right, now you're back to walking around campus. Walked into a teacher's office and read someone's grades. Max made a comment about how failing someone was too harsh. He was like, oh man, I can't believe you're failing this person. That just seems really harsh to me. Their whole future gone. In the last episode, she changed someone's grade on a whim. And then in this episode, you're
I mean,
also
not on
given
mine.
the
Well, you might have
opportunity
decided not to
change the
do
grade.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't
I
do
didn't
that.
do it on mine. Didn't do it
Yeah,
on mine.
Max is moralising about it.
I
Should
know.
probably change if.
Yeah.
on that
Yeah,
decision.
you're absolutely right. You're also given an opportunity to change the grades again. Weird focus this. Like, what? Why is this coming up a lot? Hey, you can walk around the school and change people's grades. This is someone sat in a room, and the developers and went, right, got an idea. In this bit, Max has got the opportunity to change some grades. We've done that in the past 3 episodes. Stop offering this as an opinion.
Yeah.
It's
No,
a solid
this is
opinion.
another example of them thinking that it's cool. That's why, it's that sort of like, oh, she's down with the kids. She wants
like
to
if-
help them out.
yeah, it's
No,
like
that's
they
just a
include-
character.
It's like if they
fuck are you
included a bit
talking
where
about,
she's suddenly
James?
like, do you know what? Everyone gives the police a really hard time, but they should lay off. Actually, let's knock it off.
Right, okay. Right, we're going into Gwen's office now. Now I'm telling her that I know about her getting her book cancelled. So that all comes out in the wash. Did everyone have this moment with Gwen?
Yeah, I did. I've got big problems with this, but go on, continue.
It's,
Okay,
it's a tricky one, isn't it?
It's
Go on.
it's also like
Go on, what are your problems? Let's get into it.
my problem is Gwen's reasoning for killing the book
Yeah.
feels very off because
Yeah.
the thing is, right, is she says that she pitched this book and
Yeah.
fought hard for it.
Yeah.
How would she have done that without knowing the content of the book?
Yeah, why is she
first
so
of all?
surprised? So we should explain. So this book deals with, oh my God, I've forgotten her name. There's a friend of Safi's who...
I've got
Maya?
it down
No,
here somewhere.
Maya.
Maya,
Is it
yeah,
Maya?
Maya,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So this is alluded to in episode 2, right? But we kind of skipped it because it doesn't really come to anything at that point.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I think at this point we know that Maya died but not
Yeah.
the circumstances around it, and that this, it
Yep.
turns out this manuscript that Safi's written is mostly about Maya and her feelings around Maya's death, and Gwen's like, it would reopen old wounds in a really, really bad way if it was published. But Safi's a grown adult, right?
Not
Like-
just that, but
No, hold on, but this is explained later on.
no.
Oh,
But okay,
I thought this was now. Sorry.
not being funny about this, right? But I've got a little bit of experience with publishing books and going
Here
to
we go.
publishers. No, and going to publishers, and it
Charging
doesn't.
people £400 a copy. Go on.
No, but okay, maybe it's different in a different field, but usually when you submit something to a publisher, you have to have a pretty detailed outline about what exactly is going to be in this book.
Right,
They don't just say, okay, here's here's a contract, just write whatever you want. You have to have, and if she's been pitching this book, she would have had to have seen that application as well. This makes no sense at all to me. At all. That she
Okay, but
didn't
it's
know.
video game drama, isn't it? I mean, don't go into the details
Yeah, it's
of
a
getting
teen
a book
drama,
published. I
yeah.
think if you're looking at plot holes like that in something like this, then we'll be here all day, I think. Jesus Christ. I
Yeah, the
mean,
biggest issue is
it's-
that,
it's
I mean,
just-
ultimately she knew the content and context, and then she just flips. So
Doesn't
That's
work.
like me. No, I'm sorry, James. Right, I'll stop you there because that's like me saying that step isn't the tread on that step isn't long enough, and it hasn't got contrasting nosings. So I mean,
No, this is
really,
different.
those steps shouldn't exist.
and if we did it every time, well, I mean, the episodes would be
the
17 hours
idea,
long, James.
the idea that she didn't know what the content of this book was going to be is ludicrous. Like honestly,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Wow,
And I
no,
think it's just not appropriate for her to interfere anyway.
Well,
even if she
no,
was
it
somehow
isn't, but-
shocked by the content of the book.
Okay. You're
No, but I'm not talking
Gwen
about the
here.
technicalities of publishing. I'm just saying
No,
like,
sure.
Gwen's decision making seems
Right.
unfair.
But doesn't that make her complicit to what's going on here? Because we find out about this book later. We find out that the subject, or more importantly, the cause of Maya's death, we find out that is being covered up, right?
Yeah.
And this blows it. So this puts people in some very difficult situations, right? Notwithstanding, but Yasmin is in big trouble if this book comes out, which
Yeah.
might indicate that Gwen is also involved in this cover up in some way. Then that stuff makes sense, right? That all makes sense. Like Gwen has stepped in and said, but then didn't Gwen originally submit it?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It was Gwen who pitched the whole thing and got it to where it was.
She was like, "Oh, I pushed really hard, for the publisher to accept this," and then
So how about this then?
and
So how about this?
blatantly
How about Yasmin found out about it and put
Yes.
pressure on Gwen?
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think
that
I think
makes
that's
sense.
possible, yeah.
Yeah.
But then, as Sean
right.
said, it's like, didn't Safi also have the right to publish whatever she wanted with this? It's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make sense. This doesn't.
She
What do you
did,
mean?
but
What do you mean? She
Yas,
has the right to.
Well, no. If Safi wanted to, if she's got a contract to write something like this, who is Gwen to tell her that she can't write about this? Do you know what I mean? She can write whatever she wants.
I mean, again, I think the only thing that I can say is that Yasmin stepped in and Gwen's gone a lot
Yeah.
That's
had
the
to
only thing
change
that
her
makes sense.
focus.
Yeah.
That's the
she,
only thing that makes sense.
she knew Gwen had a relationship with the publisher, and so clearly
Right,
Yasmin
so
didn't
anyway,
want to get
right.
in the shit.
Okay, so this is. I think I sort of summed this up here. I said asking about the publisher. Safi told them that it was incendiary content in the book. Maya has come up again. Not sure who this is. Am I supposed to know? I certainly know by the end of this episode.
It's mentioned because there's
There's a statue, isn't there?
yeah,
Wasn't
there's
it?
a monument. to
Oh,
her,
that's
isn't it?
right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that might be episode 1.
Yeah, it was.
They
Yeah.
mentioned,
was there
about
at the time, yeah.
another girl that died or whatever. Apparently, she was very close to a close friend to Safi.
Yeah, it was
but-
soulmate, she said.
Yeah, but then she took her own life, and this is what the subject of Safi's book is. That's why Gwen had it cancelled. I'm not really sure she had the right to do that, to be honest. So I'm sort of along the lines with you. But I think that changes as we go into this episode. I genuinely think Gwen's involved in all this. In whether she wants to be involved in it is another story. But clearly, she had a change of heart about this book. I said Gwen also says the book was good. I'm not sure I fully understood why Gwen did this, to be honest, but I'm not against it. people do weird things in it, is what I've written. But I think my theory about Gwen changes further into this episode with other revelations that happen.
I think, I know what you're getting at, but we'll... Yeah.
I conclude this bit where I said, because I think she says at some point, like, she didn't want to give her any more information. And I was like, I've written it, Gwen's right not to trust Max. I wouldn't either. Giving on all the things that she's done. It's,
Yeah.
Right. Gwen said that she doesn't trust Max not to dig up old graves. I think she's being literal here, and I agree with her. Because Max, I could just imagine that. There's a mystery here. You're controlling Max. There's a mystery here. I'm going to dig up her grave and try and investigate.
Maybe
further.
there's a photograph in there. I don't know.
There's no line for Max. She will cross boundaries to get any shred of information about a skull through a windscreen.
Yeah, she should be on Loretta's podcast. She'd be incredible.
Well, I turned it down in the first episode, Matt. So that's not going to happen. I can't turn around and agree to it now. Speaking to Yasmin in the living world, this whole conversation is really awkward. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yasmin is telling me that Safi didn't even know Maya. One of them is lying, but Max instantly thinks it's Yasmin and not Gwen. Well, she was right. Yasmin, I think, is lying. Gwen is not in this situation. But what I liked about this, and if we're talking about the game overall, and the problems I had with episode 1, the problems I had with episode 2, every conversation at this point now feels like it's building into the plot, whereas the first 2 just didn't. And it was shit just being chucked out there. I'm going from person to person here, and I'm revealing more about Maya's and Safi's relationship and the intrigue about how some people saw it one way, some people saw it the other. There's clearly people telling the truth. There's clearly people lying, and you're trying to piece it together. And I appreciate that, and that's why I was like, it was the first time in this series that I've gone, I'm enjoying playing this. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Have we got to the bit where, because you get to call her out, don't you? Like,
there's a choice.
Here we go. Yeah. Call her out or go along with it. And I've put, I'm going to call her out as it might give me more insight into who is lying. I see no benefit in going along with the lie. So you catch her in the lie, right? So you've been told by one person that they were close and inseparable, right? You've gone to the next person, they said they didn't even know each other. At this point, I was more likely to believe Gwen than I was Yasmin. So in my head, going along with the lie that she's going, oh yeah, no, they didn't know each other. Me going, didn't they? Oh, okay. I saw no benefit in doing that whatsoever.
I didn't do that. You see, I didn't call her out. And the reason is because I thought, because this is the nuance thing where I obviously she was lying, but I wanted to try and figure out what her angle was. That was me as well. But unfortunately you get nothing. Yeah. Like this is where you really realise with these games, like you can't be subtle about anything because it really is like it's either yes or no. It's not. You can't infer anything from any other decision. It's
sure.
So what does Yasmin do then if you call her out?
So I put so Yasmin was lying. The story between Safi and Maya seems to be way more complicated, and Yasmin lets slip that Vin knows more.
So she basically kicking the can down the line. But I also called her out because I thought, if I don't, where am I really going to move things forward in terms of my knowledge? And whereas calling her out, I'll get an answer one way or the other. But I did feel like I made a massive mistake. And then when I instantly was like, oh no, maybe I should have been a bit subtly. But when I think I might have took pictures right at the end, I swear, so I took pictures at the end with like the percentages and little percentages of that answer, and the result of that, there's like percentages, then like a line, and it says Yasmin distrusts you and your relationship is now shattered. So now at the end I'm like, oh fuck, I really have destroyed it forever with you and Yasmin, just for like calling her out.
I'm not worried about that because Yasmin has done some really fucked up
It's
stuff.
full of shit anyway. So what
that
did
I
you
can't. I can't. Yeah, I don't care about that.
But yeah, I had to call her out because I wanted to know what the hell was
Unless
happening.
this is a huge red herring, and that would piss me off a little bit. If all of a sudden, like, because it's
That's
so
possible
clear in
with
this
this.
episode that Yasmin is a bad person that has done something bad, right?
But they do this every time. Like, they do this, okay, definitely, like, Lucas is definitely bad,
Sure.
definitely bad, Vin's definitely bad. Oh, actually, no, they were just misunderstood or out of context.
David was an army man who was being,
Yeah.
pretty abusive to his family, and by the end of it, you're like, "Go on, David. I've got a
Hit
lot
him.
of time
Fucking
for
hit
you."
him, Dave. Come on.
He was a good family man.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, but I like Yasmin here is inexcusably does something inexcusable, right? Like there's clearly something's going on.
I keep forgetting to do this, but I'm going to do this. Yeah, so basically, in terms of percentages, only 26% of people actually called her out on the lie. 74% went go
I
with
thought
it.
it would have been close. In fact, actually, it was closer than that when I first completed it.
Oh,
You
okay,
completed it
yeah.
after me.
Yeah.
And it was something like 50, 56, 44, I think it was,
Okay.
something like that. It was pretty close. But and then I put, oh, God, we need to have a discussion about this character. Because I
Is
don't know where
this-
you're at with it.
Is this?
I put, oh, God,
Well, hang
now
on.
Amanda is
You're talking about the Amanda bit?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
bit was really weird because I've written down
Well,
here.
it
Now
was, but go on.
I wrote down. Now I don't trust Amanda. What's with all these in-depth questions? Like I
Well,
was.
sorry to do this again, but do you know why now?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking something different then. Okay,
I don't
all right,
at all.
We're thinking
Okay.
different things. All right, let's get to the end of it. But I don't like
man,
Amanda
yeah.
anymore. I don't like Amanda anymore. Needy isn't even the word. It's mad. I mean, she's now shown up at Max's job. Like, so she rocks up at the campus.
Dave,
and,
you're going to be ashamed of your words and deeds.
Yeah,
mate.
I will be. I will be. Okay. I'd love it if you're wrong though,
if
Sean,
you're-
because you're
if
being
you're-
very smug in this episode. You're being incredibly smug.
If you're, if you're right about this, Sean, then yeah, it makes much more sense. Again, it makes, but also it feels like a narrative
yes, it does
cop
make
out.
sense. No, it does make sense, of course.
But
Oh,
but I know, but then it makes it. But it's a fucking cop out, like where everything is going to be that. That's what's going
I
to be.
don't know, because I don't...
Sean, I didn't even think of that, and of course that's what it is. Of course that's what it is. Fucking hell.
Should we,
I don't
shall
know
just
what
talk
you're talking about.
Shall I talk about what tipped me off? Well,
Right,
obviously...
what happens at the end? Right, okay, right. There's a bit at the end where there's a fight with Max, and Max fight each other.
Yeah.
We'll get to this, right? And then Max wins. Our Max wins, and the other Max turns into Safi.
Yeah.
Right? So presumably Safi is playing various different characters throughout this game, right?
she's got powers. She's a shapeshifter.
She's a shapeshifter. Yeah.
she's a shapeshifter.
So she's Amanda.
I've literally
in this
put
scene.
shapeshifter at the end here. Okay, Safi is a shapeshifter, is what I put.
So obviously Amanda's being weird. That's obviously a clue, right? I mean, she's weird anyway, but in this scene in particular, she's really obviously trying to get information out of you, and it's weird that she's even on the campus because I don't think
Yes.
she's,
Yeah.
So
Yes,
all
of
that
course.
was odd. Obviously, we've got the doppelganger stuff floating around with various characters.
Yeah,
it makes
yeah.
sense that she would hate Gwen for spiking the book. So that's why she set Gwen up.
I'm such an idiot. When you said that to me earlier, when you went, David, do you get it now? I was thinking, no, I don't think Yasmin's working with Safi, you idiot.
It also this is also the stuff with shit, I've forgotten his name, the male teacher and his kid.
Yes, yeah, of course.
So
Yeah,
she's
of course that.
impersonating
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
That's how she's
Everything slots into place.
Yeah.
Like with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah. You
don't
didn't work this out, Matt.
No, just took it on face value.
Okay, I can't wait.
I mean, I was
to-
at a bit at the end. I was like, oh yes, a Safi. Yeah,
Of course,
okay,
Yasmin is Safi. Anyway, right, okay, fuck me. Not all
Oh,
the
right,
way
so
through,
Safi's
obviously,
everyone.
but in
Great,
this,
what's the-
this, yeah, okay. Let me find my.
Oh, so that was the fun thing was because when Amanda sees you in the university, she says, "Hey, sport," and you make a joke.
Oh
about it.
yes.
And then when you're in the
right,
bar,
yeah.
you call her
Yeah.
sport, and she's like, "What?
So,
what the? Fuck
I
are you
wouldn't say
saying?"
that.
Yeah.
Old
Yes,
sport,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Anyway.
I think
we'll
I
talk
even
about
wrote a
that
note
scene in a
about
minute.
that. Do you know what? I only pieced it all together just as we were chatting at the start. Then, just at the chatting at the start, I pieced it all together because you're thinking about the rest of the game again.
Yeah.
But that bit I didn't piece together, and it's so fucking
Because obviously,
obvious.
part of me was thinking like, "Oh shit, is this maybe like, you know, the weird personality switch with Loretta. But I was like, well, no, because she was being a dick in the timeline where Safi's dead. And then she just sort of ended up being sound after all for no real reason. So I don't think that's related, but I don't know.
But I looked at Loretta's messages. I scrolled right up, and she was like horrible, 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 nice, like in the same message chain. I was like, well, what does that mean? You know?
But then shapeshifting into someone doesn't give you access to their phone. So
does it not? Okay, I won't bother.
So
unless you're Max.
writing.
If you're Max, then you probably got it.
Oh yeah, if you're Max, you'd be alright.
When
Piers
did this
Morgan.
magician die? Then she fucking hell, Matt. Then she walks off in a huff. Well, that makes sense. If we get a choice, I'm not going to pursue a relationship with her. Off to the admin department to speak to Vin, who doesn't want to speak about Maya. So we go into another timeline and talk to the other Vin, who also doesn't want to speak about Maya. They're really hamming this bit up.
This bit was my note for this scene was, hey Dead World Vin, tell me everything about Dead Maya immediately. Like,
you see, also what I've got for this whole section, as I said, using Maya's mental health problems feels a bit gross in this whole thing with Vin, just to try and get information. Max has no idea what this is all about, and she's playing with people's lives. Maya died in tragic circumstances, and this feels weird.
I really hope
just a question. At this point, did anyone start to feel like, are they doing this on purpose now?
Yeah, well, yeah. Throughout this whole episode, I was feeling that. Yeah. Like, I would love it if the end of the. You don't think there's moments where you're playing as Max, but you're actually playing as Shapeshifter?
Possibly.
No, I think it's making the
big
point
fucking yikes.
Because obviously, so we see at the end. We see at the end that there is, someone else we've been feeling weird about, and they turn out to have powers, right? And suddenly it's like, oh shit, I don't know if I can trust them at all. But actually, it's also making the point that how are Max's actions looking to Safi, who doesn't know that Max has powers?
And we've been in this situation
it's like
before.
She's fucking relentless. She's breaking into shit. She's finding stuff out. She's sneaking around. Like, she probably looks evil as fuck.
Yeah, it's fucking everything up by using her powers. That's ultimately going to end in tears for more people anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought it was just an interesting.
We've been through this before, haven't we? Especially with, I think True Colours really addressed this, because we were playing True Colours and saying they've got these powers, but there seems to be no morality around what they're doing with them. And then there was an episode that specifically looked at that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's coming in this, Sean. I don't
Neither
think
do I.
it's going to
might be
happen.
right.
I don't think it is either, because I don't think they seem to think there's any problem with any of these things.
No,
Well,
no, yeah, but they've proven before that they have considered that. Life is Strange as a series has always considered that. Like, you think about season 1, it didn't go into the moral issues, but it did come in with the you don't fuck with powers, like supernatural powers.
Yeah,
like
the powers have never
that's what
been
happened to
fun,
Arcadia
have they,
Bay.
really?
No. But there was a lot of moral issues with season 2 that came up. True Colours addressed it. Should you be jumping into people's minds the way that character was? So it is a regular thing to bring this up. However, I mean, I would love it if the ultimate tagline to this whole series was, no, Max is a bit of a dick, actually. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's something. And it ends with Max sitting there and everyone going, come on, let's go home. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And then you get out your phone for one last time and you've been blocked on all those fake social network accounts. Okay. Right. So this is, I'm now grasping Vin up to Diamond about Vin making a statement about Maya's mental health. So this is when you find out that actually there's a bit of a conspiracy in the school, right?
Yeah.
Vin gave a statement after Maya's death, and we then go on to find, I can't remember if it's at this point. Yes, I did. Right, okay. I'm now listening to the other timeline. I still can't get over how morally corrupt Max is. She's like, oh, they won't talk to me when I'm around, so let's pop into the other timeline and hear what they're saying anyway. Yeah, it's like a bit gross. I'm now listening into the other timeline's conversation. Oh, yeah, I've done that. Although it did reveal some juicy info. Yasmin told Vin to make that statement in exchange for an assistant job.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that this has been building up to. Yasmin is complicit in all this. Like, she is very involved in all this. Something happened to Maya that is not it's not. I wonder How long has she been shapeshifting for?
Well, yeah, we don't know. Why? What are you thinking? Sorry.
No, she couldn't get away with offering him the job and then shapeshifting back into herself, and then Yasmin's like,
Yeah, because actual
sure."
Yasmin would know. Yeah, she wouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
she'd be like, what are you doing working here? Well, you gave me a job.
Yeah. Oh, did I? Okay.
I guess you start on Monday.
But yeah, this does make you wonder. Like, did Gwen get a job because she was willing to lie for Yasmin, or
Gwen is involved. Gwen
Yeah.
is involved because of the whole book thing, in my opinion. I think you can't. There's no other reason why she would have suddenly pushed for her to have a book and then cancel it, other than Yasmin has looped her into this, this whole thing. And why would she be set up as a drug dealer if she wasn't involved in some way or another with this whole thing? Like,
I thought that was just Safi getting revenge. I thought.
yeah,
for
that
cancelling
was
it.
my that was my thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what I
that's
thought that was,
just
yeah.
getting her back,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
or getting off campus.
Okay, maybe, yeah. Yeah, okay. But then you would have to assume that she knew that she cancelled the book.
She did know.
Did she?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm losing my thread here and whether she knew or not.
Well, she
I don't know
did
if she
find
did.
out. She definitely found out that.
Well, she found out it was cancelled, but she didn't
Yeah,
necessarily
on
find
the
out
phone.
that,
Yeah, she
that
didn't
it
necessarily
was,
know that.
that it was
Gwen
Gwen
did
that
it.
got it cancelled.
Yeah.
maybe
But
she'd been
anyway.
rifling through, Gwen's drawers, just like Max.
No, that's a Max speciality, that was.
Yeah.
Okay. This is giving me a bit of the runaround at the moment, as now I need to go and talk to Lucas about this all. So there is, although
hang
you're
on.
finding out bits and bits and bits, it is sort of making you go here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, go on, sorry.
We do find out one thing, that Vin was the skull chucker.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
jumping ahead here, mate.
No, I've got Lucas after that.
No, Luke, you go Lucas first. This isn't too frustrating though, as I'm revealing new information each time. Oh, so they would have said go and speak to Lucas, and then you find out that Vin did the cow skull thing. I didn't like the reveal to this. Didn't think it particularly made too much sense.
No, it doesn't. Because what's his excuse? Oh, I thought I'd give Safi someone else to be mad at who deserves
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No,
I
he
guess-
was trying to. No, his excuse was he was trying to frame Lucas so that Safi would attack him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he saw as like, oh, I'll give her a more productive target of her anger or something.
I know. I
Yeah,
thought
focus
it
your
was
efforts
just
on
like
him.
he wanted to attack Lucas personally, but didn't want to do it himself. So he made
Right.
an excuse up for
I
because
don't
he
know.
knows how
This-
nasty she could be.
This whole thing just felt like they just had to tie that loose end up quick.
Yeah,
because
I
it wasn't
think-
going anywhere.
I think, right.
Yeah, it was
I
bit of
said I
red
put a
herring
bit
in this.
convoluted at the end of it. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, in quotes, be respectful to Maya. Sounds like there is an awful story about about to unravel. I don't know who said that. Okay.
So when you went to go and talk to Lucas though about her, I couldn't, and I presume that that's because of the whole restraining order bit from the previous episode. He wouldn't talk to
What?
me. He
We had a big old conversation.
he wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah, we had a chat.
Okay. Anyway, so what was good about this?
Yeah, he told me to
is
fuck
that you
off.
went-
Basically.
I don't know if you noticed how important this bit was, Sean, but you talk to Vin, they tell you to go and talk to Lucas. It cuts to you walking into Lucas's office, and I just went, "Can these games do that more, please?" Because I didn't
just
need to
saved
go
me
for a
40
walk
seconds.
around. Yeah, I mean,
Like-
Last Stop, which is a narrative-based game that has plenty of problems. I think you'll agree, James, particularly the ending.
Yep, a little bit.
Was utterly bizarre, but still quite enjoyable. Last Stop, you play Last Stop, you see a scene, it cuts to the next scene. Life is Strange, you see a scene, you then walk quite slowly over to another place, go outside, walk into another building, then you start the next scene. And it's kind of like, it didn't do that here. I want these games to do that more.
Yeah, be snappier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no real benefit. You can
no,
listen to
there
other
is no-
conversations, I guess, but come on.
Right, so Lucas did get a temporary restraining order on Safi. I go straight to talking about Maya. Lucas gets instantly defensive. I need to find out more. So a quick trip to the other timeline. Get a bunch of junk out of the cabinet. Can't put anything together from here. Yeah, so there's this bit where you get stuff out of a cabinet and then just spread it on a table, and it's like maybe I can piece something together. Did anyone piece anything together from that?
Nope.
No, there was nothing.
Looked at everything. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Zero conclusions from that.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
No, the only
Yeah,
conclusion
no.
from that was that they used to chat a lot. That was
Right.
Yeah, that was a bit frustrating. Finding the copied book Lucas nicked, and we found out that this was a plot piece that Lucas had stolen from Maya's book. Is that right?
Yeah, Maya's book. Yeah, because you could see that he'd marked her
Yeah,
book and was
with some
like,
edits.
and was making notes like, oh, you could, this location's not important. You could set this anywhere or whatever. And then lo and behold, he nicked it, changed the names, changed the location.
So presumably after she passed away, he was like, well, that book's sort of sitting there.
Yeah, doing nothing. Yeah, might as well just.
Because I wasn't sure on this. I wasn't sure whether.
Yeah, we don't know the timeline yet.
Yeah, we don't know the timeline, so I wasn't sure if maybe she, chose to end her life because her book had been stolen. She felt there was nothing she could do about it.
Oh,
or
I'm not
I don't
convinced she ended her own life.
You think she was killed?
I think that's a
I think
possibility.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this may be a red herring to say, oh, Lucas could have done this. But I think it's more likely that he, after she passed away, he was like, right,
Well, that's
that
up for
book's sitting
grabs now.
there.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
great. No one's
Yeah.
going to know. I'm gonna put my name on it.
But again,
Why
this is,
would
this is
keep
why
the
I
original
enjoyed
around?
the foreshadowing with Max being like, oh, annoyingly, this is actually really good because she's not enjoying
Right.
Lucas's work.
Yeah, she's not enjoying
enjoying Maya's work,
Lucas's
right?
book. Yeah, sure. Okay. Finding the copybook, the typewriter. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was in the typewriter. Anyway, we don't need to go. This was one of these puzzle things that you just got to look at the right things.
The
for it to
golden
work.
typewriter.
Mm.
Yep. Why would a trophy given for an award for writing have a mechanical lock within it? I don't know. I don't
See,
know why.
we'll
that
never
is.
know because we didn't win the Game Award thing, and maybe if we did, we'd
didn't
know.
We didn't win.
Maybe we'll go next year and they'll be like, and this year you can lock things inside the award, but it's a block of perspex, so
Yeah.
probably.
And
doesn't bother.
also, unfortunately, the winners this year have decided to go down to Timpson's and cut it into 4 equal pieces. Safi knows I've been digging up the past and isn't happy about it.
This was
obviously.
because I wasn't entirely clear. Was this just? Did Yasmin just dob you in? Is that it?
Well, you have been walking around the place going,
Talking to everyone.
Everyone, come here, come here, come here. Who knows about the dead girl?
Well,
Does
it's
anyone-
also like potentially every person you're talking to is Safi now. So
Well,
it's
there's
like
that
it's
as well.
Yeah.
that is true. That is true.
But just the fact that Safi was so like, nah, fuck you. I don't even want to hear your explanation.
It annoys
I
me
don't know.
really. We should have waited to the end to discuss that because then we could have gone back over this and gone.
No, I think it's
yeah.
I think it's valuable context as we go through it, right? I think it's
If it's real.
Yeah,
if it's real.
yeah. Calling
It's
Amanda Sport. She called me that earlier, but said she would never say it. I guess that's another timeline.
Oh, this. I just realised which bit this is.
Yeah,
Is
this
this
is.
the
Oh yeah.
I
concert.
I hate Amanda, and I don't see her right with Max at all. I don't see
No.
any spark between the two of them. I think she is completely not on a level with her. I don't see what they even have to talk about other than her being patronised. She patronises Max relentlessly. Hey, whoa, you
Yeah, they don't
do
seem on the
this.
same level
It's
at all, do they,
Shut the
for that?
fuck up.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
honestly.
I mean, Max does say "let's thrash" when they.
But wouldn't that piss Amanda off? Like, that's why I see no chemistry there.
Yeah.
I put, oh no, I found myself in a date with Amanda. This isn't going to go well.
Worst date
Ugh.
ever.
She wants me to wear her earbud. Then she called me a bitch. I hate Amanda.
I just fucking and this sort of continues through this scene. I really hate that like a major facet of Amanda's personality appears to be is in therapy. Do you know, like the amount of times that she's like, "Oh boy, making the same mistakes again. Can't wait to tell my therapist
Oh,
about
right.
this."
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fucking hell, man.
Do you know what annoyed me the most about this scene is that I thought when they were creating it, they thought they were making another. There have been in Life is Strange. We are fans of Life is Strange. There have been some.
You wouldn't know, but
incredible
we are
moments.
fans.
For me, there's a bit where Chloe and I can't remember the other character when they were on the train together was
Oh
incredible.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, scene. Yeah.
When they were on stage doing Romeo and Juliet,
that was amazing.
unbelievably good. Right, this series of games has had some incredible moments. Even I wouldn't put it up there with the other two, but even the fucking LARPing stuff you sort of get.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done. Yeah.
The imagination bit at the end was cool. There was some beautiful moments in Captain Spirit. You know, they're full of these moments, and I really did think I had this feeling that the people putting this together thought this is one of those moments. It wasn't. Didn't work for me. I hated everything about it. It made me cringe. I didn't think they looked together at any point. I put what is it? Talking about seeing a band. Revenge Horse was supposed to be on at 11, but this bar that means 12. I said I'd have left by then. Fuck that.
Hour late. Like Guns N' Roses. Forget it.
What time did you say they were going to be on? 11. It was 11:45. Fuck
Yeah.
this.
If this isn't Wembley, I'm not going to stand an
Fuck
hour.
this band. Fuck this band. What are they doing? What are they doing then? They know what time. The trains don't even get it past 11. So they're definitely here.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine anything worse than an imaginary date with Amanda. This is the worst. I predict that James mentions Max showing her teeth a lot during this bit. Did you write that down?
I didn't write that down actually. I didn't notice.
Wow, there are several moments where Max just sort of shows her teeth. It's just
I don't have too much of a good time thrashing out at Revenge Horse.
Again,
actually.
that is a staple of Life is Strange games, right? There's a lot of teeth showing during bits. I mean, what is it? True Colours?
True Colours was really wild for that. They were always showing their teeth.
Okay, Amanda wants to kiss Max. I just don't see these two together. There's a weird power balance here. Like, she's really aggressive and really, calling her a bitch and calling her this and you're this and you're that. She's very much like that. And Max is very quiet, and it just
and it really feels like again, for all Amanda's going on about being in therapy and stuff, it really feels like Max has got self-esteem issues here.
Totally.
And again, probably not in a good place to be starting a relationship. When she's just like, oh, why are you so nice to me? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Think more of yourself, Max.
Yeah.
That being said,
she's also not nice to you.
Here we
She's
go.
not
That being
nice
said.
to you at all. That being said, I wanted to watch them smooch.
See, that's the thing. I kissed Amanda.
Of course
I
you
did do that.
Yep.
No, because one of the reasons was I just thought
You're the pervert.
go on.
I just thought Max is having a really shit time at the moment.
Yeah.
So maybe this will be something.
Needs a win.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
She
Kissing
deserves a win.
Amanda's not a win. That's a fucking L.
Yeah, but Max
all day
thinks
long.
she is.
Yeah,
Rightly or
she's happy with that. Look, it was a great day, and I thought, I mean, this.
Oh my god, you all did it. Are you insane?
I could. No, okay, so I'd already turned other people down at this point. So Amanda was the last person I saw on this.
So
this
did you
little
not?
scene.
Did you not have the chat with Vin as well?
No, I did.
Yeah,
I told
yeah.
Vin to fuck off.
See,
Yeah.
But at that point, I was like, look, I'm just going to kiss someone. I mean, I don't like Amanda either, but I was like, look, we had a lovely day. We sat down. I was like, look, I might as well just
Mate,
have a
honestly,
kiss.
no, you lot, you're pathetic. You're pathetic.
No,
There is
seriously,
no-
it's
Just like a little kiss, David. Who's
I
like a
just
little
thought
kiss?
at that point,
Let
I was.
me say this. Can I get this out? There is nothing putting these two together. There's no chemistry.
I know, I'm not saying we're together.
In fact, there is clearly a problem if they were together because there's one that's very aggressive and very dominant in a relationship, and there is one that clearly looks up to her, some sort of goddess for some reason,
She
mainly
likes
because of her
bands,
confidence.
Dave. She's cool.
Yeah, and she knows
She
craft
goes to
ale.
house shows that start
But you
late.
sat
She
there.
knows
You
knows
sat there
spirits and no one else does.
I see the problems with
No,
this
no.
relationship,
Look,
but
I'm
let's
not-
make
it's-
them
no, it's not
kiss.
forever. It's just one night. It's just a kiss.
I want to
that's the
see
thing.
the two pretty ladies kiss.
See,
so I'm going to
I
press the A button in this scenario.
see. I agree. See, before this whole thing, I was also not intending to do this, but it got to the point.
Yeah,
I was
me
just
too.
like,
Got to
go
the
on then.
point when I was
how the
sitting
scene
there.
unfolds.
It's just a kiss. Just go on.
Yeah,
go on.
oh, it's
Can't
not
be
forever. I'm
bothered
not
to
like
put my
relationship.
browser on private mode tonight, so I will just press A.
I'm just like it wasn't gonna be forever. Just one have a little kiss. One
Yeah,
kiss.
it's
One
fine,
kiss isn't
it's
gonna ruin
nothing.
anything, is it?
Yeah,
One kiss is nothing. It's just like a little kiss.
But
But
I'm
you know,
pulling
having
away.
said
I was,
that,
so
That's
just
it.
quickly to the bit where Max is like, "Oh, do you want to come to my place?" and Amanda says no. I was a bit like, "Thank God," because I don't trust this game to do a sex scene,
Yeah.
like in any way.
I said I'm pulling away, and then Amanda said, "You kiss me first," and I'm like,
Oh, that
"Fuck
was
you, fuck
weird.
oh
off."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if anything, that
it's
turned
in
me on more.
keeping with everything she's about, you weirdos. Anyway,
It's the push
you got
pull.
your
I was like, I
kiss.
wasn't gonna before that. I was like, I fucking will now, mate.
You got your action, did you? You got your action, boys. Well done.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway,
Um,
Max makes some shit point about not being fair to bring her into a shambles of a life. That's what happens when you reject her. Yeah, that's letting her down gently.
I wouldn't know.
So yeah, and you wouldn't know. Did you enjoy it? What happened, Matt?
How does Amanda take it?
She's sort of like, yeah, no, you are right about that. Actually,
Oh well.
I totally see it. I said, I don't know. I don't think she needs some passive aggressive figure in her life right now.
No, just a lovely kiss.
And then I put, now I'm going to Debworld to reject her now there too. I can't wait. I just didn't like that.
But yeah, like so. But Vin, I talked to before.
Right.
You did Vin
No,
after
Vin-
him, Mandy.
Vin, what? Yeah, no, Vin's
yeah.
after at the bar, right?
You can do it
Well,
either
well,
way.
you can do it in whatever
Oh,
order.
can
I
you?
saved
Yeah,
Amanda,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I did it after.
So
yeah.
I spoke to Vin first, and then like they're both basically drinking at the bar and getting very close.
They
I was
have
like,
their
"Fuck."
first, yeah, but they have their first normal chat of the whole thing where
See,
Vin's
I
not being
do,
all
but Vin's
"Whoopity
still-
woo woo,
Vin's
doo
still
doo doo."
creepy as fuck.
Yeah, he's
See-
just
Well,
like
yes,
a
I put this
smarmy,
here.
greasy,
Yeah, yeah,
creepy
yeah,
dude. I was like,
totally.
"Fuck off, mate!" Like, do you want to, and you'll get me close. I was like, "No, we're not getting anything. I'm going to kick you in the dick."
See,
Right,
I missed the whole of this. I didn't do anything
you?
with that.
Ah.
You
'cause-
didn't play
Well,
Would You
basically,
Rather?
he's
Yeah.
yeah, he
Oh,
basically
God,
wants to
yeah.
Would you
smash
bang
or
or
pass.
whatever it is?
Yeah,
Which
smash
again,
or pass.
Why would you want to be with a guy who's basically just admitted he wants to fuck half the fucking campus?
Smash or pass, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
great
hold
game.
on. But, yeah, why would you want to be with a girl that just has no chemistry with you? For
David,
3 episodes?
David. I just had to look up to see what people think of Amanda, and the first thing that comes up on Reddit, it says she is the healthiest character that has ever been in a Life is Strange game. She's a good friend, sets boundaries, and makes sure everyone is on the same page. So there you go.
And that's why
If
we
you're
kissed
just
her.
making shit up now,
That's
to
not
justify
ChatGPT
your
again.
perverted,
That's the word of Reddit.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So-
So
Well,
here's what I got about all this bit, Matt. Chatting to Vin instead. Pretty decent chat this time. Vin is talking about his statement and getting the job. It's the first time he's not being a dick this whole game. Then he turns into a dick. Vin fancies Moses. Not that bit. That's fine. Sorry, that was bad timing. That was bad timing.
Yeah.
This is a game that is. This is a game of mismatched relationships. Like you wouldn't put Vin and Moses together.
No
at all.
way.
Not
Moses
in a
were like,
million
fuck.
years.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, not fuck with him. They were like, no. Yeah. Can't say
Anyway, I chose to pass on Moses and Dr. Hunter. Let's face it, Vin is being wildly inappropriate here.
yeah,
I'm
I
just
passed
going
on
to
everyone.
pass on
It's
all
like,
of
I'm not
these.
going to tell you
It's
who I'm going to
too weird.
smash.
I can't imagine sitting at a bar with a woman from my office and saying, right, who would you
You
Yeah,
just sat
I'm-
in the office.
I don't trust
and
him.
then
I'm
go,
not going to say.
me?
Yeah.
Me in that? Yes or no? Please.
Yeah, I just
very-
said pass to all of it. So I'm
it's
not
very-
telling you anything. I don't trust you. It'll get out. I'm just saying no to everyone. I'm not going to tell you.
It's very sort of like 90s. You know, sort of like
Yes, it
where
is.
things,
Yeah.
you know.
Dream phone. It reminds me of Dream phone. Do you remember Dream phone?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
I
yeah.
lie,
know of
you had
it. I didn't own one.
You had it, James.
Didn't
You
have
had
it.
Apparently, he wears blue shirt. Can
That's
you tell
Guess
that I
Who.
had a little sister?
That's Guess Who.
No, it's not Guess Who. That is not Guess Who.
Anyway, who kissed Vin?
No one, right?
You didn't kiss Vin as well.
I'd
did
No,
you?
love to know
I'm-
what are the percentages. Do you have the
Oh,
stats?
I do actually. Yeah. Oh,
So that'll be-
So you can kiss Vin and Amanda then? That's possible, presumably.
yeah, you can do whatever you
God,
can
yeah, I
do. A
suppose you
lot.
can do both.
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
missed
damn, I
out on
missed
some
out.
action.
I missed out. Damn it.
Consequence
So-
3.
I rejected both of them because
Kit-
it's the only sane thing to do.
Go on, Matt.
Yeah. So Vin kissed Dead World Vin, and 48% of people passed.
Yep.
32% kissed him, and 20% didn't talk to him at all. So James is in the minority. And the note is that Vin is a little let down.
So the
What?
32%. Like,
Kissed him.
is that just streamers who are doing like all worst choices? Streamers-
Possibly. There's no
Could be.
connection at all.
Yeah, but there was no connection. Oh, you.
No,
you
'cause at
cannot
least
say
a
that
little
after
date.
kissing Amanda.
Look,
Well,
Max was interested. I did it
Yes.
for Max. I looked away from the screen.
That made more sense than greasy, slimy Vin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both. I don't like either of them.
I sort of, to be fair, I know we've not really dug into this. I sort of appreciated finding out that Vin wasn't always a piece of shit. Like, he kind of came from nothing. I sort of had him down as this high society snob
Yeah,
prick.
smarmy.
That's not him,
well
but,
off,
then he is pretending to be that, which is almost as bad. So, I don't know.
Hey guys, remember a character called Reggie? Well, he's still in this game, and you have a heart-to-heart moment with him. But can I just read you my notes? Because here we go. It says, "I'm chatting to Reggie. He said he's a bit of a fuck up. Left the bar and headed home." That's how much of an
That was
impact
weird,
that
wasn't it?
conversation has to me. I've got a horrible feeling that Reggie is going to be the playmaker along this whole thing, and it's going to be like, oh come on, no one cares about Reggie. Might as well not be in this game, in my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Max's place has been broken into. There's someone still in the house. Alderman? ? No way. I bet it's Max. I bet it's another Max. Going down into the dark room.
Well, yeah, hang on. So hang on. So I went down and then saw it was like Max because I switched.
Why
kind
did
of
you say
thing.
yeah,
hang
so
on
I-
and then say the next bit?
Oh no,
Well,
because I wasn't sure
hang
if
on
I'd done it.
there.
I wasn't
wanna
sure if I'd done
say
it out of
this bit,
order.
thank
So
you.
yeah,
I wasn't
so
sure if
I
I'd
did
like.
I did the switch to scope it out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if
before-
I'd broke.
yeah.
Almost like broken again because I was like,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
There,
yeah, I
there was
did
no
that,
reveal
yeah.
because I knew it was already Max because I'd already switched before anything. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if did you
Oh, I
you
didn't
did
know
that,
it was
Sean?
Max before then, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
because I basically
switch
switched to
between
the other.
these.
Yeah, I switched, went down. So, oh fuck, it is Max.
Yeah.
And then when came back up, and then switched again, and then the cutscene happened. So it wasn't like a big oh my god for me.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So I switched and put all the pieces together of what they've taken and gone, oh, this, I made some connections there and then switched back and went down. But I didn't go down into the dark room
Yeah.
and switch.
I didn't
Okay,
do any
right,
of that. I just went straight down there and then
Yeah.
kicked
Well,
off.
you
no
were,
messing.
you were very tired after your kissing session that you had in the
A big
last
snogging
so
session.
not really surprising.
Just
I'll
trying to
get
make her
you
happy.
to the next kissy bit.
Just
please.
trying to make her happy,
How did that work out?
Okay. So I've put right. It is another Max, and it's a Max off. I don't know why I put that one.
Oh,
Knobhead.
God.
Other Max cut her face and twisted her ankle. The face thing will be so that we can tell them apart from now on, which it wasn't. It was. It's something else quite relevant. Other Max is patronising as fuck. You've completely lost the plot. Time travel isn't the most important. Time travel isn't the most outrageous thing here. Oh, that's it. Because you
That's not-
say.
yeah.
So you're standing in front of other Max, and you say, "So what is this? Is this time travel?" Ah, listen to yourself. You completely lost the plot. It's not
Which
that
again
wild.
makes sense because obviously at that point you're thinking, well, why is that so outlandish? If you're me,
Especially when you consider
Yeah.
that Max has time traveled 1,000,000 times in her life already up to this point.
but of
okay.
course, yeah, we find out.
Yeah. Other Maxes, right, okay. They have a weird argument, then fall off a ledge. Other Max falls onto the ice. Max saves her. It's now cracking. It's now crack central. Is what I've put.
Yeah, it's because she saves
That
her,
made
and
me
then
stumble.
it's like, oh, we're gonna do it again, like 'cause it's
Yep.
all like cracking again. It was
And
annoying.
Max just mends the ice out of nowhere.
Well, I'm
Other
assuming
Max-
she reverses time for the ice.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
But then, and then the other Max is like, oh wow, Super Max or something.
Yeah.
I forget the actual quote, but basically it's implied that she's like, what the fuck did you just do? Because yeah. So then she
Exactly.
falls to the ground unconscious, and then becomes Safi.
Right.
So obviously, and then at that point, yeah, it's
That's
like,
when you
right. That was
realise
never
it's
Max.
shape-shifting.
She doesn't know that we have time travel powers, right?
The
That's
end. A
the
much
end.
better episode. I'm back in. Yeah, you're right, Sean. And I think the shape-shifting stuff, I didn't realise the importance of it. I think what had happened is that I'd got to the end of the episode and went, oh, she's shape-shifted. She's a shapeshifter. That can't be it. it's got to be something else. But like that's what it looked like at the time. But you're right. Thinking back over the episode, you're like, yeah, she's a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
See, that's what got me back in with this episode, because I like up until that point really wasn't that impressed with most of this episode. But then
I quite
Really?
enjoyed this throughout.
I thought the whole
But then-
episode was great.
But no, it was. But then when there's that reveal, and then like Sean said, when you start then thinking about all the other connections and links with that, that's when I was like, oh no, actually no, I'm back in with this. This is good.
Yeah.
This is that. This
The,
is
the other bit I thought was cool was so when the two Maxes quote unquote are arguing, like our Max says like, look, we can't touch each other because I know what happens. Obviously thinking of the Alderman incident, but obviously that was a whole other thing, like because our Max is thinking this is another timeline version of herself, and then obviously they do touch and it's fine.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a nice nod to like her sort of false assumptions based on other weird shit she's seen.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was quite good.
Yeah, I still don't know what the Alderman thing is. Do you?
No,
I don't-
not a clue.
I still don't know the world within the photograph, what that was about, but I'm sure
Yeah.
that'll be addressed at some point.
Yeah.
But it did make me think that when you went back and saw, there's part of me that thinks that Safi is setting Max up, and that is maybe another timeline that she's dealing with. Like she's gone into this other timeline. Because we know that it's already been established that you can take items from one timeline to another. You can drag items across, and items can be taken to different places, right? I think it's fair to say that Safi set that photo up, because there was that scene where you see Max pointing the gun at
she
the
definitely
camera,
did. Yeah.
and then she drops it and goes, right, okay, like as if it was all being set up. So
yeah,
clearly,
I agree.
yeah, that's Safi doing all that sort of stuff. So when we were talking about it earlier, that's the connection that I made with the shape-shifting stuff, because Safi's turned into, or one of the Safis has turned into Max, and because there's multiple Safis in this, like there's not just one shape-shifting Safi. I'm assuming there's a lot of them.
Well,
I just don't know why at the moment.
Because what I find interesting about this, because I was saying last week, I was like, I can't believe we're retreading so many of the same things. We've got
Right.
a dead friend from the past, like so so obviously in Life is Strange 1 we had Chloe, and then she was trying to find Rachel, and this wasn't and then it turned out Rachel wasn't around anymore. And then this one you've got Safi, and then she's got all this stuff with Maya, and I was like, and and again because of a shitty male teacher who's manipulating things for his own gain, I was like, this is frustratingly feeling a bit tired, and like they're retreading stuff. I now feel that what it's doing is like, no, basically Safi is going through the shit Max did, and it's still a bit too similar, I think. But I think it's just the point. It's like, no, this is Safi is having her parallel experience. This isn't Max going through it again. This is Safi's story, and this is what Safi's been trying to do behind the scenes with her powers. But to us, it looks really sinister. But then equally to Safi, all the shit we've been doing looks really sinister as well.
Right. That's cool, but she is clearly doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But there's clearly stuff going on here that is not. You cannot
Yeah.
excuse some of the stuff she's doing.
This is like I'm really interested to see where it goes next. In is it going to be they're a superhero team now, or is it going to be Max being like, no, you're really crossing the fucking line? But then is Max in any position to say that? So I don't know which is.
Yeah, I mean,
because
well,
Max
we don't
crosses
know.
a line every episode.
I mean,
She pisses on lines.
the main thing I'm concerned about with this a bit is that there's a lot of threads here now, and there's a lot of there's
Only
a
two
I don't know
episodes.
if there
No,
is.
no,
I
no.
think it's closed a lot of threads actually.
No, but what I mean is in terms of of concepts. Like you've got Max like dipping in in between worlds, which obviously Safi isn't doing. She's only shapeshifting within the living world, right? Like she's not doing it in the dead world because she's dead.
She's dead, yeah.
And so you got that going on. You got the shapeshifting as well, and what's going on in the living world. I don't know how they're going to land all of this, honestly, because
Does
there's a
feel
lot
bit
there.
messy. Yeah, and like so when we go back to when the photo of Max about to shoot Safi supposedly, the fact that there's another tornado.
Yeah.
So is that who's caused that? I'm wondering if, and I don't know obviously, is it Safi's use of her powers is fucking the world up, and that's creating... I mean, it'd be really shit if that's like, oh, by the way, anyone who uses their powers too much creates a storm. Do you know what I mean? Like, that seems too specific. But I'm wondering if the choice is then like, oh,
I think
well,
it makes sense. I think it makes sense to go down that route.
Yeah.
I'm not against that idea.
And for the player, it's easy because clearly things are fucking
like
someone
Max
who's using powers
mentor.
recklessly.
Yeah,
Max becoming a mentor and then trying to resolve that issue, but Max still has powers, right? So she's part of this as well.
That's one angle that I think would be cool if it was that, like, if this ended with like, oh, Max's thing now is finding other people with powers and guiding them through it.
Get him to rein it in a bit.
Yeah, Professor X, basically. But do you know what I mean? Like, if it occurs to her that, like, oh, this is going to keep happening with God knows how many other people. I don't know. I think that would be an interesting way of ending things. But obviously, we're only halfway through. So
can I give you a prediction? We're not. We're over halfway, right?
Yeah,
There's only 2
episodes.
episodes.
Three out of 5.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm still going to make a prediction here. We will see Chloe before the end of the season. I think.
Nah,
I don't think so.
Okay, I think we will. I think we will. I
mean, there's so much has been mentioned about
like
her in the journal, and
there's more chance in my game because she's still alive, and I still read text messages from her.
We're talking different timelines. Yeah. Safi's dead in your game as well, mate. And you see
I know,
every episode.
I know, but Chloe is dead in both of your timelines.
Yes, but what's saying there isn't another time?
Well, they're going to introduce a third timeline just to bring her back.
Surely there's more than 2 timelines already, right?
We don't know that. We've got the alive and the dead.
We've got Living World, Dead World, and then we've got Storm World now.
Well, we don't know what Storm World is, though.
Yeah, that might be...
But it exists.
It might be that in the Dead World, you prevented that. But then that doesn't explain why in the Living World there hasn't been a storm. So...
Oh, so you're suggesting that maybe... Yeah, but that doesn't fit in with the rest of it. So if Stormworld takes place after, like, then we're saying time travel and timeline hopping between 2 timelines.
That's what I'm saying. This is so messy, this whole thing.
I don't think it's that messy. I don't think it's that messy. I think it's okay. I think the shape-shifting thing explains a lot of shit that we've had to deal with up to this point. And I don't think there are that many threads to tie up. I think there's a lot of threads to tie up, but I don't think it's out of control. I think knowing what we know now explains a lot of stuff, and a lot of the mysteries, like, hey, who called Jacob's son and who did this? And the answer is Safi for all of them.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of those threads are tied up.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot.
There's still the big one, though, isn't there? There's still the big one of of who killed her or why. And
yeah, sure. But we're going to get to that.
Yeah, and then it's that. It's the Maya stuff.
If I was taking a guess, Safi killed a version of Safi killed that version of Safi. Is the only thing that makes sense at this point.
So I'm wondering if Max finds out that she has to go back and kill Safi.
And if that's the case,
choice, I don't know.
To stop the powers and stop the powers causing a storm killing everyone.
If that is the case, I'll be really disappointed.
Because
it's basically just repeating the first fucking game. That's why
we've already getting at with themes and the kind of characters that Sean just mentioned. But
you like Star Wars? I don't get it.
But that's because it's poetry and it rhymes.
It rhymes, yeah.
Okay, well, maybe this rhymes as well. That pretty much sums up episode 3. I'm back in. I didn't like this series up to this point, and now I do like this series, and I'm hoping the next 2 episodes, like what I'm hoping of, and we've spoken about the reviews that we read going into this a lot, and there was that thing that sticks up, and it's two or three people said, I was really enjoying the first 2 episodes, and the third one really pissed me off, and I didn't like the direction it was taking. I can see someone saying, "Oh, shape-shifting, really?" And being pissed off of it. I'm the opposite. I'm like, finally, something interesting.
Well, yeah, and we've already established that there are other people with different powers in the Life is Strange universe.
Yes.
So I don't really think it's that outlandish.
No.
I mean, the odds of 2 people meeting with powers is slim, I suppose. But...
And I prefer the idea that you're dealing with someone who's dealing with powers than you dealing with powers again.
Yeah.
because that's what Life is Strange has always been about. You, the player, do the powers, whereas now this does not seem to be the case.
Well, no,
I'm looking
Life is
forward
Strange
to-
2 was that, wasn't it?
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It was your brother that had the
Yeah.
powers. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. I just, I'm fascinated to see what I think of the next episode, because that's the setup now. We're setting up to the end, and it's how it handles that's really important. But anyway, that's it for our Life is Strange episode 3 spoiler cast. We will be back for episode 4. And if you don't listen to our regular show, please listen. The Computer Game Show. Go to your podcast player. It will be on the feed that you're listening to this on, or the YouTube channel where you're watching it. You can go and listen to the rest of our shows, the weekly video games podcast, and we're currently very excited to talk about the Switch 2. If you're wondering, we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/TCGS. If you've enjoyed these episodes, you want to hear more of them on different podcasts or whatever, there's a load of bonus shows on there. There's a load of content to catch up on. Just as a thanks for putting these out, you can support us there. Patreon.com/TCGS. Thank you for listening.
We've also done previous Life is Strange Spoilercast, haven't we? So
We have, yeah,
Got this.
they're on our feed. Search them up, and we've covered the other games. You're absolutely right. Thanks for living in, and we will catch you on the next podcast. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.